I honestly don't know how I feel about Angels on Tap. There were times when I was really enjoying it, and I'll mention some personal highlights. And there were times when I was thinking, what's going to happen, because nothing's happening. There's not really a strong narrative, and I think I needed a clearer beginning, middle, and end. That's not to say a film can't work without those aspects or without very strong versions, but with this one, I was kind of always waiting for a proper story to kick in. So it's interesting. This was released in 2018. It's directed by Trudy Sargent, written by Burt, Prelutsky, and we have a cast including Ed Asner, Jamie Farr, Rod Masak, Alan Rachins, and various others. Great cast, great performances. I probably would have watched it eventually because of Ed Asner anyway, but when I read the description, I thought, that sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely fantastic. And then I watched it, and I'm on the fence. We have a story within a story. The story within the story is about a reporter who enters this bar where all of the patrons are angels. And they all have these wings, and yeah, they look great. They look fantastic. The bar, the atmosphere, really like it. Really, 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 really well done. A few too many reallys there, but I got carried away. It's well done, and the reporter is talking with each of these angels, interviewing them, if you like, and asking them questions about their opinions on things, their opinions on Earth, and on Earth that it is now, and to tell us a bit more about their duties, their roles, their responsibilities. And it is very thought-provoking, and it is quite interesting, and the characters are very, very well written. The performances are great, the costumes look great, the bar has a brilliant atmosphere, and it works really well for a concept, but I was just constantly waiting for something to happen. Something with the narrative to kick in and maybe change the direction or mix up emotions a little bit, and it never happened. So I feel like it needed something else to be a great film. It could have been a great film, but it is missing something, and I can't quite put my finger on what that should be, other than something a little bit meatier with the narrative. The story within a story is that this is being told as if it were pitched as a film idea, and yeah, that works well, and I think maybe that's where they were trying to give it a bit more substance. But while it works to set up the bulk of the film, I just feel like it definitely needs a little bit more work to be a better, more well-rounded, more interesting narrative. Yes, the angels have a good commentary on society and our way of doing things today as of 2018. And yeah, it is interesting, but I was just left wanting more or something in addition to what we got. As I said, I will mention a couple of personal highlights, though. These are just a few things that were mentioned that I have to say made me quite excited. So these are teeny tiny spoilers. I won't actually say what the context is, but there was a mention of Robin Williams, which was actually not within the bar. That was the story before we get the story within the story. And one of the angels talks about Frasier, and they mention a specific episode of Frasier, being a big Frasier fan. Yeah, that's going to get a thumbs up from me. So there were little things here and there in the dialogue that I rather liked. And in general, yeah, I liked it. It's not a bad film, but I do feel like there's just something missing. It needs something a little bit extra. But that being said, I'm happy to recommend it. I think Angels on Tap is still a decent experience. And if you're curious, if it sounds like something that might interest you, then I am happy to recommend it.